All right, we've got a crazy one today. Ooh, well, I won't say it's crazy, but it is not looking good. So, just Pearly Tings just got demonetized. And before I say anything, I am not surprised in the slightest. And I'll explain why later, but for now, I'm just going to say this much. Pearl got exactly what was coming to her, and when you make enough noise, your employer is eventually going to strike back. Not strike back, but eventually be like, you know what? You're done for. It's done. And as far as we know, I don't know. We don't know the reasoning. At least I don't know the reasoning. There's been a couple of things that have been circulating, but we're not going to go off of speculation. We're just going to go off what we know for now. And yeah, let's hop to it. Now, before we do anything, let's do a quick summary of what Pearl has done, just in case you're a little bit unfamiliar on why I especially don't like her. I mean, besides her really garbage opinions, like well, women divorced for no reason or over chores, which
Why do you think they're getting divorced? Do you think divorce is fun?
I think women divorce for no reason all the time.
No.
The reasons they
Can I tell you the reasons? Because I researched it.
You're actually a child. What do you think love is? You're just like romantically going away to Venice like every year, and that's no. A relationship requires a lot of deliberate work. Things like chores are where relationships start to break down, and it'll steamroll into bigger things. A guy not doing chores ever might be a guy that you don't want to anymore, and then you not having sex ever might be you guys just don't get along anymore. And like 3 months into it, you hate each other, and you don't know why, and you're not sleeping together even. You're not having any sex. You don't do anything together, and it starts over small. But anybody that's been in any relationship long term, these little things will pile up and kill you.
I mean, people have debunked this enough, but I'm just gonna say this: the chores themselves are not the reason why people divorce. It's everything that piles on to it. So when people don't do the chores, it means the person's probably lazy and they're probably not helping out in other aspects of life, and that way you're just gonna cut it off and done. Okay, that's as far as I'm gonna go with this one, because people have already, dug into that opinion way more than I ever could. And now, I'm just going to go over quickly this different other stuff that she's done. So far, she's abused the copyright system, which is a very big offense, by the way. And here it is, in case you are wondering. This was against someone named Sarah Garvey, who had made a video talking about Pearl. And, she has some really aggressive contracts and talking about other stuff that she's done. And Pearl went and struck it down, or at least tried to do that. Oh, and she has a lot of outrageous opinions where she says stuff like women shouldn't vote.
I don't think women should vote. Huh? I don't think women should vote. I don't think women should vote.
And so the question you have to ask yourself is, if you're telling half the population to not want to vote, that they shouldn't vote, who's going to take kindly to that? At least in terms of like from a business standpoint, especially when, a good chunk of the audience is, women. So that's just not a good idea. And also, I'm going to say this much too. She's had some really, really weird tweets. Like, especially this one. If I have to tell you why this tweet is bad, then I'm sure your FBI agent is going to look to your search history very thoroughly, because I don't need to tell you this. But just the fact that she said 16-year-olds is crazy. She didn't even say like, there's no punchline for this one. It's just she didn't even say anything of like value. It's just 16-year-olds are hot. I don't know where. Either she must have been super drunk when she tweeted that, and if that's still not an excuse, or she must have just been, I don't know, trying to stir up trouble as quickly as possible. And if she did, then she did a damn good job at that. But it's deleted, so yeah. But I will say, there's also this other instance where this tweet here, where somebody apparently, she did a video a year ago. I'm talking about some bedroom action, and so she was also talking to people underaged, and that's really what sparked this particular tweet. And it says here, the TikToker YouTuber at Pearly Tings stopped my 15-year-old sister and her school friends on the street to ask them invasive questions about bedroom fun on her YouTube channel. She made several cut downs of the video and has subjected them to abuse from the red pill community. And then I'll let you guys read out the rest. That's essentially the tweet. And Pearl did respond to it, and she said that this is false. This was a conversation about abortion. There was even a sign in the video, and participants could pick if they wanted to be part of it or not. False accusations by women ruin men every day. This is what we were discussing in the video. I have never even heard of this situation till this week. You have gotten my channel demonetized by mass reporting me, which affects 15 people that work for my company who have families and mouths to feed. Then you falsely accuse me of asking some chick from a year ago about bedroom action. Instead of false accusations, why don't you get a real job instead of bitching about your failed relationship and crying about racism all day? Get the fuck out! Sorry, she said get the fuck out of my feed. Wow. Pearl, your fucking acronyms are terrible. Jesus, girl. Alright, that's her response to it. I cannot say if this is true or not. I will really not go much too into it, but that's essentially one thing that she said. But isn't it ironic, though, that she's complaining about mass flagging when she out here abused the copyright system? Just a little bit of irony. But yeah, that's really what I don't understand, is that you out here pushing so much stuff into the world, and you're talking about, you know, oh, the 30-year-old women are bad, this and that, or women are aging, or oh no, these trio fours, and then somebody comes after you, and you're like, woe is me, help me please. Oh my god. Sorry, let me do the Pearl voice. Oh my god. People are attacking me, and I really don't understand why. I mean, I'm trying to just talk about men's issues, and I really don't understand why I keep getting attacked. It's like, no, duh, you're getting slapped. Ugh. I always say, you gotta take on the energy that you put out there. Oh my goodness. And this also reminds you of why red pill channels in general were not meant to last. At least red pill content the way it is now is not meant to last at all. So now that I've seen Pearl get demonetized, it really brings into question like why the red pill is such like a toxic community, and why it's one of those communities that was never really meant to last, especially in the mainstream. Like, it'll get its headlines and all that, and then, you know, people just leave it. Like, you have, for example, like Andrew Tate left it behind.
Women that have no emotional connection, they're weirdos. A lot of this red pill, how to get girls stuff, a lot of them are like that as well. They're like the peak masculine life is just to have a bunch of women that you barely know, and that's stupid. That's fucking ridiculous.
Sneeko, sorry, L Sneak left it behind.
High value man, he's talking from the perspective of being able to be a playboy and get as many girls.
But why is that a priority over having a like? Why would that even be advice? Why would that be a male self-improvement advice? Well, be a playboy instead of raise a family. Well, we make fun of women all day for wanting to be girl boss queens and sleep around and have all this, and then you tell guys be a playboy instead of raise a family.
And then you have people just distancing themselves in general, and then you have the articles coming up. And so the question is, if you have these bigger people leaving the movement, why is no one sticking around? And to me, in the eyes of YouTube, the red pill is like a really bad pimple. It'll make sense in a minute. So a pimple sometimes is not too bad. Sometimes it just pops up and it's annoying and you just don't do it. And that's red pill, okay? It's in its little corner, and then people don't really pay it much mind. But sometimes your zit gets so big that everybody talks about it. And you're like, okay, let me poke it out, or let me put some anti-zit cream or something on it. And that's red pill. It gets so bad that people are writing articles and this and that talking about misogyny. And so YouTube's like, listen, okay, we're not going to ban you, but you can't make money off of it. And that's what happens. I mean, you know, saving children was fine, but saving you guys was better. I mean, hey, if you're really about men's problems, hey, it doesn't matter if you make money off it, right? And that's how I see the red pill. And so now that all the mainstream ones are taken down, like, how are you supposed to keep this movement going? And when you realize maybe the ideas were just toxic from the beginning, like from jump, they were toxic. It's not like they were good ideas. And even the few red pill ideas that were somewhat okay, it's kind of stuff that's like basic knowledge. Take charge of your life. Yes, everyone should. There's no reason not to take charge of your life. Well, you want to sit around all day? And so I just find it interesting. And I'm gonna say this too. The ironic part is they talk about helping men, but here they are charging for how much for courses and like meet and greets and this and that. So are you really helping men, or are you taking advantage? And the irony is that even the Tates took advantage of men too. Even though, so the people who are advocates for men's issues are the ones who are also taking advantage of men in this. And I'm going to say this too as well, actually, before I end off. Why would YouTube want to keep stuff like this on its platform when it gives it bad press and advertisers don't want to associate? This is the big question, because if you are so controversial and you're bringing on people like Nick Fuentes and all that, and bringing on conspiracy theorists and stuff that's really outside the norm, why would like Chevrolet want to be like, man, you know what? I want Nick Fuentes on a site that I put ads on. No one's going to want to watch that. And then you also, and on top of that, your own content itself is also just toxic in general. So why would I want to listen to this? It's ridiculous. And what creators do not understand, at least what I believe they don't understand, is that while yes, you are technically self-employed, YouTube is still your employer. Now, they don't run stuff like a traditional company where you have to go through all the stages of like getting fired, or like you get warnings. Well, actually, you do get warnings, but sometimes you get warnings at YouTube. Sometimes it's not consistent at all. But regardless, you have warnings, and then you have to go to HR, you get a write-up, maybe you got to take sensitivity training, and then after all that, and you still are causing a ruckus, you can go. You're gone. Dunzo, finito. That's it. But on YouTube, it's like, well, while we are technically your employer and you do whatever you want, you just make us money, and we don't really need you in the long run. So they can just demonetize you. And demonetizing is a little bit of a weird area sometimes, because it's like, yes, you can make money. Oh no, sorry. Let me phrase that. Yes, you can still post, but it's like, you can't make money off of your own work. And sometimes it's not entirely fair in a lot of cases, but sometimes it's completely justified. And in this case, I have no problems with it. Not in the sense that I'm not celebrating she's getting taken down or getting demonetized, but I'm saying there's just consequences of what she's been up to. You think you can just keep saying the same outrageous stuff for months and YouTube's not going to say anything about it? Ugh, that's just extremely naive. Oh my goodness. And then now my question is, who's the last of the red pill people? Because I talked about Rolo in my last video a little bit, but he's so small and so insignificant that nobody gonna see it. And also, nothing is meant to last forever. Like, even for instance, I'll even speak for myself. Like, even though I'm just starting out, I could cut this journey off tomorrow, or you're just gonna be like, you are gone. No, just look through old stuff that I've done, even like beforehand, because I used to have clips on this channel, and they could be like, well, you're problematic, so you can just get axed. Will it suck? Absolutely, but it's just the way the game is played. And so, because there's going to be opinions that I have that not everyone will agree with, but it is what it is. Yeah, lots of crazy stuff out there. That's for sure. I want to reiterate that regardless of how I feel about this girl, the way that she got demonetized is a bit weird to me, in the sense that, well, it kind of just happened, and I don't know if YouTube really gave her a reason for getting demonetized, so that's a bit interesting. But but then again, if YouTube comes out and be like, yeah, we demonetize you for this content, then some people can counter sue, and then sometimes it's not fair, and they look to your catalog and they say, okay, this is bad, and blah 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 blah, and it's a whole case that they don't want to bother. So now they're just going to do it and keep it ambiguous. And I'm never going to be happy with people like losing their money. And she even said that, you know, she has people like employees with mouths to feed, even though her contracts are super aggressive. I mean, just watch this clip and you'll understand.
Percentage. She said, Sarah, you're the high end, so you will get 70-30. So I said, fine, okay, let me listen. 70% goes to me and 30% goes to you. Now she looked at me and she said, no. 70% goes to me, Pearl, and 30% goes to me, Sarah Garvey.
What I mean by that, regardless of how aggressive her her contracts are, yeah, she has teams of people, and then you have people who rely on you, and then you don't make money, so how are you going to pay them? Of course, while I said I don't feel bad, let's not kid ourselves here. If she really cared about her team, she wouldn't be out here saying some of the most outrageous stuff and putting them more at risk to lose their money. But, yeah. But no, just realize that also creators are some of the dumbest people on the planet. And some of them get such big egos to the point where they forget that they are an employee and not an employer. And that's something that you should really never take lightly from YouTube. But I have not much else to say about this girl. I really don't like her, like, at all, and hopefully everyone understands why I don't like her. No, she abuses the copyright system, says some of the dumbest takes imaginable, is sometimes disingenuous in her research. Actually, no, not sometimes. Is very disingenuous in her research. And, you know, just a big grifter. I mean, if you look at her earlier videos and you look at them now, it's like, yeah, no, this woman loves money and just wants to be famous. And hey, she is famous. Or more like infamous. Oh, but yeah, no. No, don't take stuff for granted, like, at all. And don't ever, like, push the envelope beyond your limits, or else you end up like this one. But with that being said, if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my socials down in the description below. And of course, you can leave a dislike if you want to. It's your fault. You succumbed to the Matrix. That's why you click the dislike button. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in whatever the next project is. Peace.